Hello everyone, this is Jason Merkel with Horizon Hobby, and I'm here today with an overview of the HobbyZone AeroScout S 1.1 meter trainer. It's a very exciting addition to our lineup because it kind of brings a lot of features at a great price point. It offers a lot of performance, and at the same time, even though it is a trainer, it is actually a lot of fun to fly for an experienced pilot. So myself and a lot of the guys here around the office, we absolutely love flying this thing in the experienced flight mode. It has good power, really good control. So as a beginner, it's a great airplane to learn to fly on, and then because it has our safe technology built inside, you've got 3 flight modes: beginner, intermediate, and experienced. You can progress from your very first flights to using a lot of stabilization to helping you learn to fly successfully, to down the road, once you have enough experience, go into the experienced mode. You can do loops and rolls and inverted flying. It's just a really great package overall. And you guys can see here, it's a good sized airplane. It is not what we consider an ultra micro. We do have smaller models. So let's say you have a small space to fly. Maybe you only have a baseball field roughly to fly in. Then this model would be too big for that. You would want something like the HobbyZone Sport Cub S, for example, a smaller, what we can again consider an ultra micro aircraft. But the nice thing about this being its larger size is that it's easier to see, so you've got better visibility. It can handle more wind. So for example, the Sport Cub S, it's so small, it's so light, you basically can't fly it in any wind at all. This can handle windier conditions. That said, quick shameless plug, I do not recommend learning to fly in the wind. If you can avoid wind, definitely do it. Don't go out on a windy day because the airplane will get pushed around. You may lose orientation, have a hard time getting the airplane back to you. And so wind is usually the enemy for an inexperienced pilot. So try to fly on calm days whenever you can. But this aircraft is great for flying in, for example, a soccer field or multiple soccer field space, football field. The most important thing is just having a place that's free of obstructions. Obviously, you don't want to fly over people. The larger the space, the better. The nice thing about this airplane is it does have oversized wheels, and so it can take off and land on grass, no problem, even in some pretty rough grass. It's also good on pavement. It does have a steerable nose wheel, so it's got really good ground handling capabilities. You can also hand launch it. So some people will do that depending on the surface that they're flying over. You can even remove the landing gear or not install the landing gear out of the box, so you can fly it by hand launching and kind of landing on the belly. So you have a lot of those options available to you. Again, a great sized model. It does have a really good performance overall. It's lightweight. It's also very durable. So it's got a lot going on for it. And so one thing I want to point out is that the unique kind of configuration of this model, it may not look like a traditional airplane to a lot of guys. And the reason for that is it has this what we consider pusher configuration power system. So the motor and the propeller are behind the nose, behind the wing of the airplane. And the benefit there is that obviously when you crash, most times you hit the nose. And when you have the propeller and the motor and everything out here on the front, you tend to break the propeller. Sometimes you bend the motor shaft. Sometimes you break the motor mount. And so in this case, all of that is back behind the wing. And if you do crash, you just tend to kind of either bounce off the nose, maybe you'll crinkle the nose a little bit or even split it open. It's very easy to repair, keep on flying, and you will almost never ever have to replace a propeller. And so that's one of the unique benefits of this kind of layout here. That said, it does have a more traditional still aircraft configuration and layout otherwise. A high wing here, which is great for stability, great for a training aircraft. We do have some other interesting features kind of in the tail section here, a full flying stab. That's kind of a neat feature, although for maybe an inexperienced pilot doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but basically you do have really great elevator control. This also has 4 channels, so it's got aileron control, elevator and rudder control, and throttle control as well. So it's the 4 major functions that we use for most radio controlled aircraft flying. And the benefit there is that once you learn how to fly, you are again able to perform aerobatic maneuvers like the flying upside down or rolls or loops. All those things are available to you. And so one of the other nice things about it is it's super easy to put together. It doesn't come out of the box like this. You guys can see the box here. The wing comes in 2 pieces. The fuselage comes in 1 piece. The tail is in 2 pieces. The landing gear is not installed. It only takes a few minutes to assemble this aircraft. It's very easy. You don't need to use any glue. There's no tape involved. There's 1 screw that you have to tighten up. The screwdriver is included in the box, and that's just basically for installing the nose wheel. The main gears snap in. The wing slides together and goes on with really nice, convenient thumb screws here, so it's easy to remove. The tail slides into place. Again, no glue, no tape required, no special assembly or skills required. You can buy this model at your local store and take it to the field that you're going to fly at, put it together right there. You won't need anything extra beyond what comes in the box if you buy the ready-to-fly version. So I'll talk about that really quick. So we have this in 2 configurations. There's 2 versions available. The RTF version, which stands for ready-to-fly version, it includes everything that you need to fly. Basically, it's ready to fly out of the box other other than finishing your final assembly. The nice thing is it does come with a full-size, full-range transmitter. This is a Spectrum DXE transmitter. One of the best parts of this transmitter is that you can use it for other aircraft down the road. So once you learn how to fly this airplane successfully, you can use this to fly more advanced aircraft. For example, you can fly some of the scale aircraft that the E-flite brand offers. It's a really great transmitter because it's something that you can use down the road as well. And so that does have, again, your 4 standard functions. It does have throttle cut, which is good for safety. You've got a high and a low rate, so you can have more control or less control. You also have flight modes, the 3 flight modes. And so the beginner flight mode is stabilized to where you have bank angle limits and pitch angle limits. So in that mode, you cannot get the airplane upside down. So if you move the stick all the way over, it will bank to a certain degree and it will stop there. Even if you hold the stick there, it will never roll upside down and crash. And so the beginner mode is perfect for people that have never flown before. It makes takeoffs very easy. It makes landings very easy. So that safe beginner mode in particular is phenomenal. It does have an intermediate mode, which allows more bank angle limit and more pitch angle limit. So you still can't get upside down. But I did forget to mention in the beginner mode, when you let go of the stick, so if you have the stick all the way over to one side and you let go, the airplane always goes back to level. That's in the beginner mode. In the intermediate mode, it does not go back to level. So if you hold the stick over, the airplane will not roll upside down. However, when you let go of the stick, it will pretty much stay where it's at. And so it's a step beyond beginner mode. It gives you more control, but also requires you to do more flying of the aircraft. Then you can switch to the experienced flight mode. In the experienced flight mode, there's no limitations. So for an experienced pilot like myself, this is the mode that allows us to do aerobatic maneuvers, for example, flying upside down, again, doing loops and rolls. And so when you progress to that point and you're ready for that, that's fantastic. But at the same time, let's say you get into trouble in the experienced flight mode. There's a button back here with panic recovery. So if you're spiraling out of control in experienced mode, you just hold that button down, the airplane will go right back to level on its own. When you let go of the button, you'll have control again, and then you'll be back in the experienced mode. Or what I also recommend doing is if you hit the panic button, just hold it down and then flip back to beginner mode. And back in beginner mode, you can kind of more easily fly the aircraft, kind of regain your composure, get the airplane back into a good attitude and a good situation, and then go back to flying it again. And you can experiment from beginner to intermediate to experienced, all in the same flight, just at the flip of a switch. It's very, very simple. So again, the airplane comes with everything installed already in it out of the box. You just have to do some minor final assembly. You buy the ready-to-fly version. It does come with a Spectrum DXE transmitter. It also comes with a Spectrum Smart LiPo battery. And so this Smart LiPo battery is fantastic because it makes charging easier and safer than it's ever been before. It does include also a Spectrum Smart USB charger. So this charger is super convenient because you can power it from basically any USB power source. So if you've got, for example, a wall charger from your cell phone, if you have a wall charger from your tablet, you can even use a computer USB output port. That will work as well. Or if you have in your car, for example, in your cigarette lighter, or just USB ports natively in your car, you can use those as well. Now, the amount of power output from your power supply will affect your charge rate. So if you plug it into a typical 1 amp wall charger, it'll take about a couple of hours to charge the battery. And if you have a more powerful USB power source, for example, a tablet power supply or USB power charger, that will usually charge in as little as an hour. That said, we do strongly recommend buying some extra batteries. They are available separately, and you do have to use the smart batteries with the smart charger in this particular case. Now, normally smart batteries can be charged on other chargers, and smart chargers can charge other batteries. The one that comes with the airplane, however, only works with smart batteries. That's because there's no buttons on it, there's no adjustments on it. You plug in the smart battery and it just goes and charges it safely. You don't have to know anything, you don't have to plug anything extra in or adjust any of the settings. And so again, this only works with smart batteries. That said, we do have other chargers available. So for example, we've got the Spectrum S2100 model charger here. This is an AC power charger with 2 outputs. So it actually can charge 2 batteries at one time. So if you buy a second battery, you can charge 2 batteries in as little as 20-30 minutes and take them out to the field and fly them. And then flight times on the batteries, it varies depending on how much throttle and power you use. It can be anywhere from roughly 10 minutes, give or take, to 15 or even 20 minutes if you throttle back more, which for a beginner, that may not sound like a long time, but trust me, that's a really long time to be looking up into the sky and constantly keep keeping focus on the airplane and learning to fly it successfully. In fact, a lot of experienced RC pilots, it's very rare for them to fly much beyond 10 minutes. A lot of them will set their timer for that max and then they'll land. Even if they have plenty of battery left to continue flying, they're usually kind of fatigued at that point and they want to take a break. So again, strongly recommend buying an extra battery. Again, the Spectrum Smart LiPo batteries are phenomenal. They're very easy to use, very, very convenient. They are readily available at the same outlets that will sell the airplane as well. And then for experienced pilots, I did mention there is a bind and fly basic version. And so the difference between the ready to fly version and the bind and fly basic version is the bind and fly basic does not include a transmitter, does not include a battery, does not include a charger. The intent there is that an experienced pilot like myself that already has transmitters, that already has compatible batteries, can buy just the airplane with all the electronics installed and then use my own battery and transmitter to fly that model. And again, I think this is a phenomenal aircraft for even experienced pilots. It's a lot of fun for a lot of different skill levels, flying fields, flying spaces, and it's just a great flying airplane. It's hard to describe, but anybody that's had a chance to fly it has been actually really surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. I saw it and I thought, well, that'll be a good flying model, but once I got to really, kind of fly it around in experienced mode and push it to its limits, I was blown away by just how much fun it is, how easy it is to take off and land because of the larger wheels, how nice it is to take off and land even on some pretty thick grass. And that's something that's kind of atypical for a model this size. A lot of aircraft this size struggle even taking off out of kind of regular grass. So we do have that benefit of this aircraft as well. So it is very durable. It's made out of EPO foam, which is not your traditional styrofoam. It's got a little bit of a flex and give to it. That said, we did crash one of these models when we were shooting the videos for it. We actually hit a goalpost at a football field. So a football field is a great space to fly in. The downside is you do have those goalposts. It was a little bit breezy as well. And so we hit the goalpost. The airplane got damaged on the wing when it hit the goalpost, and then it hit the ground after that, and it did damage, it just kind of dinged the nose a little bit and broke the tail section. And so we do have an entire series of videos that shows you how to diagnose some of the damage after a crash, how to either repair that part if possible using the appropriate glue and or tape to repair it, or how to buy replacement parts and to install those as well. So be sure to check those out on our YouTube channel. We've got a playlist which is dedicated to the AeroScout, and a lot of those hints and tips in the repair videos also apply to other aircraft that are made from this same foam material, the types of glues that you use, the methods that you use. So be sure to watch those. We also have a video that walks you through the unboxing of the airplane and how to assemble it, and it's super, super easy to assemble. I think that video is roughly 15 minutes long. That's all it takes to take it out of the box and get the thing ready to fly. We do also have videos that will show you how to take it out to the field and fly it, how to trim it. And so the nice thing is, even if you've never flown a radio-controlled aircraft before, you can successfully learn to fly with this airplane. You can use the beginner mode with the safe technology. We will show you how to trim it, and we'll cover some of those different details. A lot of the things that people don't know about as a first-time pilot, we're going to cover those. They're in the instruction manual, some of which is also covered in the quick start guide, and then all of which is covered in our video series as well. So be sure to check those out if you're interested. This aircraft is available now. It's available at your favorite local hobby shop, your favorite online retailer, at horizonhobby.com. Although it is very durable, full line of replacement parts is available for it. So we do sell the wings separately, the fuselage separately, the tail, the landing gear. You can even buy a propeller separately, although I doubt with this pusher configuration you would ever need that. And of course you can buy extra batteries, upgrade chargers, again, all of which is readily available at the same store you buy the aircraft from. So be sure to check it out. Check out our YouTube channel. Check out our website, horizonhobby.com. You can see more information on the product page. You can download the manual there before you even buy the aircraft. And again, be sure to check out the YouTube channel for the AeroScout playlist to see all the videos that cover everything from unboxing, assembly, first flights, to even potentially repairing it.